Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, Ways and Means Democrats took an unprecedented step to vote to make public private tax returns. They unleashed a dangerous new political weapon that reaches far beyond any sitting or former president and jeopardizes the privacy of every American. To be clear, our concern is not whether President Trump should release his tax returns, as has been tradition, or whether his returns are even accurate. That's up to the IRS as well as the taxpayer. Republican opposition to this unprecedented action is focused on protecting the privacy of American taxpayers from a Congress that can now, with the flimsiest of reasons, target political enemies to harass, embarrass, and even destroy by making their private tax returns public. This targeting is not limited to elected or public officials, but can target private citizens, business and labor leaders, and even Supreme Court justices. No party, no individuals in Congress should have that power. We have been warning House Democrats for the past 4 years in their rush to target a former president not to unleash this dangerous new political weapon on the American people. With yesterday's vote, the political enemies list is back in Washington, D.C. We've seen what happens when private tax information supplied by the IRS is used for political advantage, and it was the grounds for articles of impeachment against President Nixon. That is the basis of the Watergate reforms that continued until today to protect the privacy of American taxpayers, to ensure that private tax information is not used as a political weapon. We got a glimpse of what abuse of power looks like when the committee revealed and the IRS admitted how the agency targeted Americans based on their political beliefs. Lois Lerner apologized and resigned in disgrace for it. Democrats recently argued before the courts that they seek to improve the presidential audit program, but no congressional hearings were held, no member briefings occurred. No serious efforts were taken. Just a rushed, cursory glimpse targeting only one of many former presidents and vice presidents whose returns have been audited, or we hope have. And to improve an internal IRS program, the solution is to make confidential tax information public? No, it's clear what this was, and it was a targeting of a political opponent. This is a dangerous precedent precisely because it reverses Congress's post-Watergate taxpayer protections and provides a new path to weaponize the tax code against political rivals or critics. If Democrat colleagues were serious about conducting real presidential audit oversight rather than targeting a specific taxpayer, there is clear precedent for a measured approach that preserves taxpayer privacy for everyone. Refer the matter to experts at the Joint Committee on Taxation, an independent organization with expertise in these matters. Task them with reviewing the documents, comparing this presidential audit against other similar audits and the IRS rules directing the reviews. They can then report back to the committee and would have more than a mere 11 days to do so. Public statements by Democrats in Congress and on this committee have made clear the desire of Democrats to make private taxpayer returns public simply for the sake of political gain. This has always been the purpose and goal of the Democrats who have been so adamant about this. Yesterday's vote to make private tax information public is a regrettable stain on this committee and on Congress, and will simply make our politics more divisive and disheartening. In the long run, I think even Democrats will come to regret this, and perhaps sooner than one might think. This brings me to the legislation we are considering today. If Democrats truly just wanted to revise the presidential audit program, then they should have done exactly that. But they had 4 years to do so, and they didn't need private tax returns to accomplish this goal. We may have been open to such an idea. The Democrats, however, have turned this into a partisan exercise to give themselves cover for releasing President Trump's tax returns. Plain and simple, the process was rushed. We never marked this up in committee, and there are serious flaws in this legislation that could have and should have been addressed before putting it to a vote on the floor. The bill was only introduced a few hours ago. Democrats should bring this back after it has been vetted and gone through regular order, and after working to find common ground on a bipartisan approach. Until that time, there is no way Republicans can support this bill.